The Salt Lake Institute of Genealogy will celebrate its silver anniversary in January 2020. Elevate your genealogical education to new heights. At SLIG, you will learn from the field's top professionals, obtain in-depth instruction, network with respected experts, consult with successful researchers, and research at the Family History Library. Registration opens July 13, 2019 at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. We've asked the course coordinator to tell us a little bit about the course to help you decide if it is the right fit for you. Accredited genealogist Michael Strauss is the course coordinator for Guide to Treasures Found in Federal Records. Keep watching to learn more about his background and the course.
Hello, my name is Michael Strauss. I'm a native of Pennsylvania and I'm a resident of Utah now. And I've been an accredited genealogist since 1995. Besides coordinating at SLIG, I also coordinate courses at IGHR in Athens, Georgia, and at GRIP in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
How long have you been working on genealogy, and how did you become interested in it?
I first became interested in genealogy in 1977 when I first started doing family history research. It was when I was in middle school in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, and my teacher, and I was in a Pennsylvania history class, he gave us a humanities project and asked us to go home and ask our family for help. Like a typical 12-year-old, though, I didn't really want to do it, didn't have much interest in it, and I went to my parents, who in turn sent me to my grandparents. And after that point, I became fascinated with family history and decided at that point it was something I wanted to do the rest of my life. And I've been at it for 41 years since that time.
Have you had any prior SLIG experience?
Yes, I have had prior experience at SLIG for 2 years. I taught for the very first time in 2018. I was in Dr. Michael Lockapo's class on Pennsylvania research, and I taught 4 classes that year. And then the following year, I was in Kelvin Meyer's course on burnt counties and those records. And I taught that this year, 2019, and I gave a lecture on the loss of military records as it relates to family history.
What course will you be coordinating?
For next year, for 2020, I will be coordinating the course on Guide to Treasures Found in Federal Records.
Please tell us about the course.
The course and all the classes that are going to be taught in this course are really found inside the doors of the National Archives. Whether you search at the archives in Washington, D.C., or you go to Archives 2 at College Park, or if even you are searching at a regional archive branch, which are dotted around the United States, those records found within the walls of the archives are a great national treasure. And as such, they touch the lives of our ancestors. And if your ancestor paid taxes, served in the military, received a patent, got public land, their record of what happened to them in their lives are going to be found inside the National Archives, and therefore inside the walls of this course.
What are the main topics covered in the course?
Well, beyond looking at records that I think most genealogists will search, such as census records and tax lists and naturalizations and immigration and emigration records, we're going to also discuss a number of sources that are not so well known or even used more regularly by genealogists. And these would include such records as patents, copyrights, trademarks, U.S. Postal Service records, penitentiary records, records from our federal court system, in addition to a plethora of military information covering everything from compiled service records to pensions to bounty lands, to official military personnel files and to draft records. All of these will come from the perspective of our federal records, from the federal system, our government.
Who would benefit the most from this course?
What I think you'll get the most out of this course is the opportunity to get exposed to as many new documents and types of records that I had previously mentioned in that long list. A genealogist will get familiar with those and maybe not have had the experience and the exposure prior to this. And by doing that, they will enable them to be better genealogists.
What basic knowledge should students have before taking the course?
Students should actually have an intermediate genealogy experience, and they should really have some familiarity, at least with the National Archives. By no means should the student not have had extensive experience going into the archives, because inside the course you're going to learn a whole lot more about what records are actually held in the archives.
What should students expect to learn by the end of the course?
Students by the end of the course and by the end of the week should expect to learn all that the National Archives entails. Everything from the very beginning of learning how to use finding aids and how to effectively research your ancestors in the National Archives, to the very end of the course where they've taken all the classes on all the different records that are found within the archives. By the end of the week, they should have some really good basic knowledge on how to research there effectively and to use their time effectively, so the next time they visit the National Archives, they can get the most out of their trip.
What is something interesting about your course?
Well, one thing that I have thought about that you will learn in this course, and I think it's important, is that you don't have to have somebody famous in your family. You don't have to have someone who's well-known even. The records of our National Archives, found within the walls of that institution, really contain information about everyday individuals. All of us, including our ancestors, lead normal lives. And because of that, their records are going to be found inside this great hall of records.
We hope you enjoyed learning about Michael Strauss's SLIG course, Guide to Treasures Found in Federal Records. Registration for SLIG courses opens July 13th, 2019. Check out the website slig.ugagenealogy.org for more information.